Hi there. It's nice seeing you. Over the course of the last week or so, I've been talking to many different business owners, and I put the question out there, what is the biggest challenge that business owners face with their personal wealth plan? Now, the answers were pretty surprising as to how many different answers that people had thought of, but there's one that kept coming back over and over as the number one response and answer to that question. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's not taxes. Taxes was the number two that people were thinking about as part of their personal wealth plan. But the number one response that people have for what is the biggest challenge that they face with their personal wealth plan? Longevity. People are scared of outliving their money. So, with that end, I wanted to put together a little framework as to some of the planning that we can go through and the ways that we work to, well, first of all, how we can manage longevity. Oh, and by the way, by managing longevity, we may be able to manage taxes at the same point in time. And then anything else that we have. And a lot of times that can be one of the last questions that you have, and last, I should say, responses that you have, is how to plan for your family in the event of making sure not only they're taken care of, leaving a legacy, but then planning for when you're gone as well. All of that comes back to some of the planning processes that you can go through to make sure that you have all of the details taken care of. Let's check this out here. What I'm showing you here is a plan that is in place. This is a business owner that I know that basically is retiring this year, sold the business. So not only do they have some personal assets that are coming in, but then they also have more than this that's coming in from the sale of their business this year. So what we can do is we can start mapping out some of the details here. So they have some retirement assets, they have some Roth IRA assets, they have some non-retirement assets as well. And when we start mapping that out, the first thing we know is based upon how much they have in assets, how much they have in income coming in, not only this year from when he was working in part of the business, but then also what they had coming in as part of the business sale. We can figure out real quickly then that given the assets, all the different things, they have a 92% probability that the money that they have is going to last all of their life. Let me ask you, how important is it to you to know what is your probability the money that you have is going to last all of your life, based upon what you want to do today and the spending that you're probably going to be doing over the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years? What would that look like to you? How would that make you feel? Well, that's part of the process here. So we can actually put together what I call the probability of success and mapping out those details. Now, not only that, but then we can go into some planning as well and say, now we know that we can have a really, really good retirement. Let's take a look at things, how we can map out taxes. So right now, we're going to pay an exorbitant amount in taxes. So because of some of the business sales that he has, we're going to have probably an estimated, just on the sale itself of the business, of the money that's coming in this year. And what's unique about this was that we structured it over 5 years. So first of all, we spread out that income over 5 years. However, they're still going to have a significant amount of tax owed this year. So we can go through and we can look at all the details here and figure out where the taxes are. Now, when we come back to the planning, we can make a little change. So for this client, blessing the community was a very big goal that they had with some of their wealth. So we actually put together a charitable lead trust. And a charitable lead trust is something that was able to not only bless the community, but then at a designated point in time in the future, we can get some of that money back and bring it back into the estate. So we can leave it as a legacy as well. So we get the deductions, we get to bless the community, and we get to leave a legacy. So a lot of what this individual, and I should say this couple, was looking for as part of their wealth plan. And just by doing that, it increased their probability of success. The probability that the money that they have is going to last all of their life and all of the next stage and chapter of their life. Now let me show you the reason why here. So going back to our taxes, we can do a side-by-side comparison of what taxes look like based upon the, well, right now assumptions. Obviously I know taxes may change here in the future, but on today's tax laws, with the sunsetting of the Tax Cut and Jobs Act that President Trump signed into law, with the sunsetting of that, here's a potential of a side-by-side of what things look like. And instead of paying an estimated $46,000 in just taxes based upon a portion of the sale of his business, we're dropping that down to $2,000 of what he would owe in tax. So just by doing some planning, we can now change it around and say, all right, you are being able to bless the community, which is important to you. You're being able to leave a legacy, which is important to you. And oh, by the way, we did exactly what was most important to you. We increased the probability that the money that we had is going to last all through your life. So great ways that we can use planning as part of this. Now we can even model some other things here as well. So we want to do some more legacy planning with paying for grandkids, for schooling, and we can do a lot here. So that's at the heart of the planning that can be done and the ways that you personally can know that longevity, if we live a long time, that you are still taken care of, no matter if it's today, tomorrow, or sometime in the future, that we have all of those details taken care of, and you can be very confident in what you have set aside and what you want to do. Now, that was the number one response, longevity, for what is the most concerning for your personal wealth plan. Now, there's many other responses that I've had, and part of what we do is go through a lot of this here and put together the details so that you can live a life of significance and leave a legacy that's far greater than what you ever dreamed about, just because of how we do this planning. Now, the number one response for business owners, apart from their personal wealth, is what the heck are they going to do with themselves in retirement? And retirement is not, kind of a word that we don't really use a lot. We can transition, and what this allows, when we put together all these longevity plans, when we put together the probability of success, that allows options. And I know you like options. So if this is at all encouraging to you, if this is at all interesting, feel free to not only email me or give me a call. We can set up time to chat, and I can talk through what this looks like on your behalf and make sure that you have, a plan in place for yourself, so you know that the money that you've set aside from the sale of your business or from retirement is going to last all of retirement, all of the next stage of life that you have, and you can do the things that you want to do. Take care.